Hello, it's Lucy from Nanny Buttons Craft. Let's make a leaf brooch today. This is a die cut I've made using a die cut machine, but you can just find a template online or draw your own or copy around a leaf if you're feeling clever onto a piece of felt. This is just thin craft felt, nothing special. We're going to be bulking this out by adding some wool to it, and that's what's gonna help. But this is the template. It just makes it easier. If you're feeling really clever, maybe you don't need a template. So I've got a few colours to choose from, and I made one of these in orange, so I want to make one in a green, and I'm thinking I'd quite like a nice dark green. This is, what's this one? This is forest, so that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Forest. Let's start with forest. You won't see this green, and as you can see, these are, I don't know if you can see through the light, it's a dark day today. It is autumn. I don't know how well you can see, but we're going to take really small pieces, and you just need, you can use, if you have one of these, which is multiple needles, you can use this to help you push the fibres in. It's just quicker. But this is gonna make marks on this, but as you layer up, you won't see those marks. You don't have to push down too hard, but we're just changing this colour really gently. And if you don't like that, if your felt is a bit thin, you can just use an ordinary needle. You won't see so much. It's just going to take a lot longer. And if you're doing, like, as you go around the corners, you're going to be able to see using that big tool is not going to work. Because we'll lose our definition, and we're gonna lose probably a bit of definition depending on how long you want to spend on this project, really. Excuse the light, it is like sunny 1 minute, dark the next, so I'm just pushing through. Every so often you're going to need to lift it off because you can see the fibres will poke through, but that's going to be the back anyway. And this is just a really lovely, calm little craft, and you get to make yourself a little felt brooch. Now, it did occur to me that if you can get a felt shape, you could in theory make anything. So I'm sort of wondering, oh, I wonder if I can make myself like some Christmas, maybe a Christmas brooch, maybe a little snowman or something. I don't know, I shall see. But this is a good size, but I think it's really lovely. And I don't have the orange one, but I know where it is, and maybe I'll get the orange one in a bit. I added some beads and some embroidery details to that one. Don't have to. You can use the felt to add. I'm just going to use this to just get some of this in a minute. So this is the first video I think I've made since the summer holidays, and I didn't really do any needle felting over the summer. I don't really like having a needle like this around when I've got a 6-year-old who jumps on me sometimes, so I didn't want to really be doing too much needle felting. So I think I made a couple of things when I was able to, but mainly I just crocheted on the tiniest bit of paper craft when time allowed. So do not forget to pick this up and just stab it. Now, how detailed you want this to be is totally up to you. It's just going to look lovely. I mean, it looks quite good as just a standard piece of felt, but this is just going to give it some texture, and we can give it some colour too. I was thinking I should have gone and got a leaf, because actually they're quite a bit brighter, but I wear a lot of dark green, and this, this is your project. You could do it pink if you wanted to. So if you put this down and you think, oh, I can't see this line very well, pick it up, turn it over and have a little look. You can always come in later on and tuck this in so you don't lose that definition. You might not mind losing that definition. What you really want to do though is get this on and covering up that, and we'll add some more colours in a minute. The other greens I have bowed, which I absolutely love, but that's more like a moss green, not a dark moss green, but the textures in it remind me of moss. Can you see? I don't think that's right for this project, and I do have some conifer, which is really dark, but that is in a it's a carded, no, it's a cordel, and it's a bit difficult. It's not as easy to use as this one, which is a oh, it's not even in the right bag. This is a cordell. Yeah, so it's easier to use. I haven't ordered any new wool for ages. I know that World of Wool have got, I think they've got some money off at the moment, but I've got a huge box full. So I kind of feel like until I've made a bit of a dent in that, I won't order anymore. But I know there are some like really beautiful greens. I think these would make such a nice present for someone. I think you could give these as Christmas presents too. So yesterday I made a mouse and he doesn't have a face yet. So really I should be finishing that, but it'll be easier for me to finish that tomorrow. Today was just a good day for me to be able to film, and I kind of like lost my nerve with filming a little bit. I thought over the summer I had all these ideas. I'd show you all my crochet projects I've been making, and I did a video and I uploaded it, and it just didn't get any views, like really didn't get any views. And like, I don't think there's anything wrong with the crochet. Maybe it was just the style, the way I did it, the labels, I don't know, who knows. But so I took it down and really lost my nerve, and all I've ever wanted to do was to like try and inspire you to have a go at a craft, because I always think that being creative is just so lovely, so wonderful, so hopefully it's relaxing, and yeah, so yeah, I just want to try and provide a bit of inspiration, and because I do so many crafts as well, it's just so much fun. I just wish I could find a way to make it pay, because this is a little bit of heaven, being able to sit and create something. And if you're making like a brooch or something, like no one else has got this, even if you make one at home today, probably not going to use the same colours, you know, the definition won't be the same. So I could go into the garden and pick up a leaf so we could have a look at veins, but I'm feeling reasonably confident, and I'm not going to go into that much detail to make it exact. It's just a sort of a token. I'll just poke this in. Sorry, my fridge was making quite a lot of noise then, so apologise if you hear that. We also have acorns dropping onto decking in the garden, and they are so loud, it's crazy. Kind of get used to it, so but if you hear like a big clunk, that'll be an acorn. And our acorn tree has been just so loaded with, we've got two, one out the front and one out the back. The one out the front is just not ours, but it hangs like it partly almost over the property, and I've never known like so many acorns. Having a bumper years, the squirrels will be happy. So again, don't forget to pick it up. This is not rocket science, is it? This must be one of the like easiest projects to do. Please excuse my nails, they are in desperate need of redoing. I just don't think I'm going to have time today, so that might be tomorrow's job. Let's go in with this tool a minute and just see. It just quickens it up. Put some definition back in. Now I usually, when I do felt, I usually find that this towel with this scissors tie just doesn't stay on, but we'll try and see if we can save it. I'm sort of slightly concerned it's gonna come off, and there's not a great deal of felt to attach it to. Maybe if we try and make this a bit chunkier. Oh, the light, honestly. I love autumn, but it's so dark sometimes. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and stab this and stop talking. Let's try and fix it. Just going to shorten it so that there's a little bit of something there. I mean, we might end up taking it off if it's too vulnerable, because you don't want it falling off. I think it'll be right. You don't need a lot of felt for this. If you only got a small amount, then this is a good project to make. And I mean, you don't even have to go up near the edges if you don't want to. It's just gonna, because I've used a green, it's just gonna give it a different sort of shade. You could use a brown if you wanted a bit of brown underneath. This time of year, the leaves are rapidly changing colour, and I really should have brought some leaves in, shouldn't I? So we could have had a look. But what I'm going to do, I think, because I do really want to try and keep this quite green, but I'm also going to add a bit of yellow to it. So bear with me while I just rustle around to find the yellow. So my choices, well actually it's not a choice because one is way too bright. So this is Buttercup. I'm going to use a really small amount of Buttercup, and this is from World of Wool. And this is a merino. This doesn't look like a merino. No, I'm not using Buttercup, sorry. I'm not using Buttercup, it's really bright. I'm using this colour. I don't know what it's called. No, I don't have a label on it, so I'm sorry about that. It's kind of like, it's not a mustard, but it's kind of a, but I don't want it to be this bright. I want it to be a little bit darker, so I'm going to take a tiny bit of green and I'm just going to pull it through a bit, just separating it a little bit so it's a bit mixed in, so just not so bright. In fact, let's get a bit more green so it gets a bit lost. And you can do this with felt. You can sort of mix your colours up a bit. It's still a bit too bright. I think I could have done with like a bit more of a dirtier colour, but I really want the yellow as opposed to brown. So, and I'm going to pop these in like on the edges a bit. That's way too much. So you're just getting a real small hint as opposed to lots and lots of yellow. In fact, you can barely see it. Let's try adding this up here. If you need to put finger guards on, please put finger guards on, because it hurts. It hurts, and then if you do it a few times, I end up feeling like quite sore and cold. I do like the fact that you have more control without the finger guards on. Okay, take a little bit more, put it on this edge. I'm sort of thinking like the edges where it starts to go crispy. Now, how much detail you want to put on this is entirely up to you. You might want to put lots of veins on it. You might not. You could do the veins by this, by constantly going in the same place, and you will get, I don't know if you can see it, you will get a bit of an indent and you'll start to build up the pattern. That's quite nice actually. I was going to layer some. Let's just try. The other way I would do it is to take the same wall and just layer it on like that to get the definition, which will be harder, but you'll lose it. But I'm actually quite liking this, so let's just put, we won't put loads in, we'll just put a bit. You're going over, you want to pull it up as well. You want to be careful that you don't like chop it in half by going over, so you can go just slightly to the side. I hope you can see that, but let's come a bit closer because this lighting, I don't know, I think, see if I turn the light off and see if that makes it any better for you to see. Is that better? I think it actually is better, isn't it? Oh, I'm not sure. It's so dark. No, I think it's too dark. It looks like it's about to rain. Excuse me. Knocking the camera. We'll try the light back on again. Let's try that light. No, we're just losing focus now, aren't we? I think you can just about see the line. If you want to do a line in your needle felting, then as well as going on that same piece, try to go a bit to the sides as well. And maybe do that slightly gentle, don't go all the way through. Just a bit gentle. Maybe we'll come up here. Now this is something you could do with embroidery thread as well. You could definitely do this with them, and I think I did on my last one. Just a little bit of embroidery thread, which would be really, really pretty. So now I'm going to put my finger guards on. I've actually got two thumbs here, I think. That's all right. just so that I don't stab myself. And I'm just going to go in and sort the definition out. So on the back you can still see all this lovely definition, and I just want to sharpen it a bit. So I'm just poking in at the sides. Just poking in at the sides. As next door's dog barks. That's it. Just to help, and I actually don't mind that I can see a bit of different colour here. I just don't want this to look really, really fuzzy. So I'm going to spend quite a bit of time pushing this down, and I might have to go back and put those lines in again if they get lost. That's okay. Because I just think these are so pretty. I do happen to be wearing a dress today with leaves on it, and it's green. I'll show you. Yeah, and it's green. So this brooch would work really well if I'd made it yesterday and then worn the dress today. Yeah, I'm kind of intrigued to see what other brooches we could make, or what else we could do, because I did think this would make such a lovely garland. But you could spend an hour, 2 hours on this, on these leaves, if you want to. So even to do 5, yeah, I suppose it's doable if that's your project. I made so many autumny things, wreaths and all sorts of stuff. I will share them with you. I'm not autumned out, but I'm sort of aware that it's Halloween soon. Do I want to make anything else for Halloween? I need to do that, and then as soon as Halloween's over, it'll be Christmas, and if things take a long time to make, then you need, yeah, I don't mind at all that there's this bit of evergreen sneaking through, but I do want a little bit more yellow because I can barely see the yellow, and I'm sorry it's so dark. I'm not even sure if you can see much, but we'll go on with it anyway, because hopefully you can see the little bit of the process of how I'm doing it. Going to need to invest in some proper, something good to help with lighting, aren't I, if I want to make videos this time of year. We'll just wait till a sunnier day. So I'm going to keep going at this, and if you put down too much and you aren't happy, then just pop a bit more green on top. Yeah, I'm going to keep going, stabbing away at this, and then just simply stitch a safety pin onto the back, and that will be my brooch. You could glue it if you want to, but I will almost certainly stitch it in. I don't think I'm going to do any embroidery on it, but like I said, you could do. Just keep stabbing, remembering to pick it up every so often so it doesn't get completely stuck. If you don't need this end bit, don't worry, I don't think it matters. If you want to spend quite a bit of time sharpening and neating these edges, you can. It will fluff up a bit because it's wool, so if you're wearing it with a nice wool coat, that will look lovely. But yeah, you might find it goes a bit fluffy over time, especially if you don't heavily felt it. If you don't heavily, use your needle well and get it all nice and flat, then you may find it fluffs a bit, and you can always go back in and do it again. Maybe just take the safety pin off so you don't hit it. Tiniest bit of yellow. Yeah, thank you for joining me. I'm sorry it's such a dark video, and maybe I'll come back and do some more videos soon and they won't be quite so dark. Take care everybody, bye.